What is up, everybody? My name is Dane Thompson and welcome back to AutoLogic magazine and the Twinnebago build. So if you're not familiar with it, we are building a twin-turbo 1972 Winnebago Indian, and it's getting exciting. The last time you guys were here, we were kind of mocking up turbos. I had a mock-up engine, and we've gotten much further than that. So what I'd like to do today is kind of take you on a quick tour, get you up to speed on where we're at, and hopefully we can get this thing wrapped up sooner than later. Well, here she is. This is the Twinnebago. It is a 1972 Winnebago Indian that clocks in at 22 feet of magic. So when you guys were first introduced to this, it was a video kind of slow-mo. We were walking around. I had my buddies over here. We were mocking things up. But let me tell you a bit about what's going on now and why it looks a little more disassembled than it did the first time you saw it. So the engine that was in there was a placeholder. We used that for mock-up purposes so I could mount the turbos, get the hot side, all of that stuff done. As you can see, I got a pipe on the ground. This thing is finished welded. It's ready to bolt in. But we had to take it all apart so we could put the motor that is in there now. So the drivetrain in the Twinnebago is a junkyard motor. It's a 6-liter LS we started with. We punched out 30 over. We put Moly forged pistons, bearings, oil pump, you name it, the works, gaskets, everything from Moly USA is in there to rebuild it. We're running a Gen 4 rod. I didn't spec any crazy rods because we're not really trying to push power to the moon. For the valve train assembly, we reached out to Crower. They jumped on board, so we've got a trunnion kit from Crower. We've got a special cam spec from Crower that's called the Twin Turbo Winnebago of Death Cam. I'm really excited about it. You can actually go on their site and order that, so that is very fun and exciting. We have a Trailblazer SS intake manifold that was supplied to us by War Racing. So they supplied that and one of their custom one-off 92mm throttle bodies that the air will be traveling through, coming from the 62mm turbos that are hanging out up on front of that. On top of that, to get the exhaust out a little quicker, when we want to have some fun with it, we put a 4-inch automatic cutout by Granatelli. So we reached out to them. They were kind enough to supply that. So this thing is going to sound phenomenal when it is uncorked. And when it's corked, it's got, I think, 2.5-inch exhaust all the way back to the end of the Winnebago, so it doesn't drive my family and everybody else crazy when we're just motoring down the highway. And now that you've seen the drivetrain, I want you to come on inside real quick and take a look at what we're working with in here, because we're actually going to try to renovate the inside a little bit as well as the power plant. All right, we are inside the Twinnebago. Majority of this is how I got it, essentially. The roof was really great. That was pretty much the reason I bought this. These things are notorious for leaks. They are made of wood. It's basically a wooden box, and when they leak, it is just very difficult to rebuild them. So I lucked out with this one, and I lucked out with the sweet wood grain. So this is all original, minus the coverings that my wife and mother-in-law have been making, and they've covered all of the drawers and cabinets. Somebody actually took these and they painted goofy designs. So we're just trying to wrap those up, kind of make it match, not reinvent the wheel. Same thing with all of this stuff. We capped this with some stainless. My father-in-law, Prescott Sheet Metal and Hardware, actually made this. We pulled all of this stuff out and revamped it, went through it. Everything should function properly. It's all actually in killer shape. This thing had minimal usage, minimal miles, and it is awesome. So other than that, we redid the bathroom. If you guys want to take a peek in here, and then everything in the back is pretty much the same still, minus the block-out curtains that we got going. So now we are over here at the wheeling station of the Twinnebago. I have the cover off, obviously, because we're working on the motor. I had to cut an access panel here for the brake system we put in that I haven't finished yet. This is kind of where we're wrapping up, I would say, like last weekend for the most part. But all the switches and panels on here are hooked up and they work. The heater functions. I have the chassis pretty well wired. I got a few more things to button up, like the Holley ECU and everything to fire this motor up, so we haven't completely buttoned that up just yet. But as far as blinkers, turn signals, hazards, headlights, everything you need to run and drive down the road, this thing is wired and ready to rock and roll. Well, you've seen the powertrain. You got a sneak preview of what we got going on inside the Twinnebago. Things have slowed down a bit because of the crisis and the COVID-19 that we're all experiencing, going through shipping parts, labor, having spots to get things done. But nonetheless, we are making progress one step at a time and moving forward. I hope you guys subscribe to AutoLogic magazine. I hope you follow along on the build, because we are just getting started. We are getting to the good stuff, and you don't want to miss this thing doing smoky burnouts.
this kind of glow.